Tune in to Overcomers TV on your favorite app or streaming platform. It's time to overcome.
I was having a mental crisis, breakdown, whatever you want to call it, at work. And at the time, I was a very aggressively over-drinking alcoholic at the time. And it just felt like enough was enough, and I needed help. I didn't know where it was going to come from, so I ended up in crisis, and I stayed at crisis for about 2 weeks. And when it was time for me to go, they asked me, did I have anywhere to go to live? And at that moment, I had a place to go, but I didn't want to go back to that place because of the circumstances of being around an environment that was wasn't helping my cause of sobriety. So I told them that I didn't have a place to go, and they led me to the Miami Rescue Mission, They kind of explained a little bit about what it was. It was a homeless shelter that was housing men who didn't have a place to stay, And since I already had a job, I just needed a place to stay. So I had an idea in my head that I was coming here, to, save up some money, continue to work, and have a place to stay until I can make enough money to find my own place. So I didn't have to go back to my auntie's house, where I was doing a lot of my drinking. So I heard about the Miami Rescue Mission through crisis. That what got the ball rolling, and my journey began. But unfortunately, when I got here, the plans that I had, I guess this is when God intervened. He had a whole different plan for me. And when I came in, it was like, no, you're not going to be in a work program, and you're not going to be able to go and come as you leave. We have this regeneration program, which is for people who battling addiction and mental health issues or whatever. And it's an 18-month program, And on top of that, you have to give up your cell phone. And on top of that, you're going to hear Jesus every day, all day, throughout the day. And I was like, oh, no, I can't do this. That's the first day. So I said I'll give it to the next day, the next morning, and I'll be out. But they had a chapel service that night that I attended. And I can't remember what they was preaching about, but the testimony for me was, somebody else's testimony was, a guy I actually knew off the streets when he was in his addiction. And he was the one that was doing the chapel, facilitating the chapel that night. And just to hear this brother, give the word and preach, and me thinking like, this cannot be the same guy that I remember that was out there on drugs and drinking and stealing from his family, because I knew his family very well, So seeing him up there doing this thing, I had a chance to talk to him after the service was over with. And he was explaining to me about how the Miami Rescue Mission works and how he found Jesus and changed his life, And at that time, he was clean for 4 years. So he was like, brother, just give it a week. He told me, just give it another day. So I told him I was leaving in the morning. He said, just give it another day and come to another service. And I did that, and that became our routine. He was like, just give it another day, I always had some spiritual upbringing, through my grandmother and through my mom's. But to actually to really open the book and start to learn and pay attention, you know. I don't know, it's just something in me I had no control of. It just started changing, you know. I was like, well, 18 months isn't that bad, you know, because at the end of what they offering, if I seen this brother turn his whole life around, you know, okay, and I said I wanted to help, so I gave it a shot, you know, and I've been here ever since. Well, when I finished the program, I'm a part of Alpha 129. When I graduated, I had a big decision to make because when I came in here, like I told you, I was working. But I told my employer what was going on. I was trying to get some help. And he was like, man, go do what you have to do. When you finish the program, your job will be here. And I was like, it's an 18-month program. You know, he was like, I don't care, just give me a call or whatever. But I don't know how they found out. When I graduated, like 3 days later, they called me, my job, and asked me was I ready to come back. And when they asked me to come back, it was like the Spirit just gave me remembrance of what I went through when I was working there, you know, all the drinking and partying and hanging out after work and drinking more and drinking on the line, drinking on the job, you know. And I honestly didn't believe that I was ready for that, you know. But I really consider it. So I talked to a fellow brother and he told me just pray on it, you know. That's why you came here, you know, to get to know God, you know, let God lead your steps. So I prayed about it and I was like, God, if you have any suggestions on me for what to do, you know, because I think I'm going to take this job and go back. And behold, a day later, I got offered a position here in the kitchen at the Miami Rescue Mission, you know. And I said, okay. So I called my employer and told him that I was going to stay here and work for these guys since they helped me get my life back together, you know. So, and I don't know, man, it's just something about this place, man, just changes lives, you know. And when I reflect on, you know, the journey from day one to now, you know, it's amazing, you know, what God can do, you know, because in a million years, I didn't think I would still be here, you know. And the guy I see in the mirror today is nothing like the guy who came in them doors 3 years ago, you know. When they say he restores because relationships that I thought that I ruined forever are back now, you know. Relationship with my kids, with my children's mothers, with my brothers and my sisters, you know. Because I was a very angry drunk and said a lot of hurtful things to people, you know. And I'm almost ashamed, now knowing what I know now, I'm very ashamed of my past, you know. But that's the thing about Jesus, you know. It don't matter what you did or where you came from, what color you are, you know. He loves you, you know, and it's a love that I can't explain because to this day, I still can't believe the path that I'm on right now, you know. I enjoy coming here, working here, you know. It gives me a chance to see the grace of God, you know, front and center. I get to witness that every day. I get to witness the guy coming through the door for the first time and seeing that look on his face with confusion, you know what I'm saying, because that was me, you know. And then get to see him transforming day by day, weeks, months, and years later, and a whole total turnaround, And I get to witness that every day, And I had a passion for cooking again, since I've been here, because I've lost that when I first came through these doors. They give you CSAs, a Christian service assignment, to each client that comes in. It's like a job, You might be in the kitchen, you might be in guest services, might be in the laundry, wherever. But I told them I wasn't going in the kitchen. I didn't want to go in the kitchen. But they put me in the kitchen because of my resume, I wish I would have knew that now. I would have put something different, like I was a carpenter or something like that. But I was still a little rebellious, you know what I'm saying? Because my career, I worked a lot of places, I was able to see a lot of things, work for a lot of chefs, So I was still kind of rebellious of the idea of being in the kitchen. So I said, okay, I'm in the kitchen, but I'm just going to wash dishes. I washed dishes for 8 months in that dish pit. And I used to pretty much just laugh and giggle and talk with God. Like, you got a real sense of humor. Like, my career, I've been doing this all my life in the kitchen, cooking and, chefing it up since I was 17, And I'm here washing dishes at a homeless shelter, But over time, I started getting back in the swing of things and showing my potential, what I can do. And I think that's how God uses me, They see the potential in you. When they say people see something in you that you can't even see yourself, and the mission is the calling card of that, because they see greatness in you that you cannot see in yourself. They constantly encourage you, telling you you're a child of God, God loves you. This is not by chance. All this is designed, this moment, God has something for you. So the vision that they have is very inspirational. It really makes you believe in yourself again, And not just by them just telling you that, they show it by the action. Even with the volunteers and the donors that comes in, they're very upfront with it, They're not afraid to talk to you and be in your face and want to hear your story, and they'll share their story with you, why they came to the Miami Rescue Mission, And overall, it's just a beautiful thing to see how you have human beings that really care, about one another, Well, by me being in food service, I'm all over the place. My name get called pretty much 1,000 times a day, Whether it be from the outside, homeless people, someone's always running the kitchen like, hey, it's the guy there, he called for you, he want to see you. And, I always let them guys know, Monday morning, that's intake. You here at 5 o'clock in the morning, Jesus loves you, man. He got something for you, man. You ain't got to live like this. He got something better for you, So I guess that's how he uses me, because through food, Because, I'm a magnificent chef. I like to think so. I'm still here. They haven't got rid of me yet, so the food can't be too bad. The discipleship is, it gives you ownership, because you got guys out, you can talk the talk, but you need to also be walking the walk, because you guys are watching and they want to see, okay, are you really following Christ, They want to see how are you treating people with compassion and love, Don't get me wrong, we all have our bad days or whatever, but when it comes to, being a service, because that's what we are in the business of, like my boss man, Tony Villasuso like to say, we're in the business of service, so we have to be a service to the people, and we have to be role models, and we have to be, inspirators, and, we have to be show a little more compassion, a little more love, to people, because they are watching, because, you get those ones like, why should I come in there? You talking about it's Christian base and you're acting this way and doing this way and treating him like that. But so it keeps you on point, that if you're going to be working for Jesus, you better be on point because people are watching and they're waiting for you so they can point their finger like, see, I told you, man. When you come here at the Miami Rescue Mission, your day is going to be filled. I'm talking about it's not, you might think you might come here, it's a homeless shelter, you're just laying up and eating food all day. That is totally not the case. They're waking you up 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to eat breakfast, and then once you finish breakfast, you're going straight to devotion. Once you finish devotion, you're going straight to your CSA, then do that for about 8 hours. And once that 8 hours over, it's you get a little leisure time, probably an hour or two. Then back at 7:30, you're doing chapel service, and then you're doing group service. And I forgot, at 1 o'clock, you're doing Bible study. So by the time curfew comes down, bed check, you are completely exhausted. And you're doing it all over again the next day. So yeah, it's lots of ways to get involved with the Caring Place, pretty much through word of mouth, the mission also does a lot of advertising and getting the word out about what we do here. The volunteers and the donors, you can give financial blessings is always good, but people giving their time, that's priceless, People giving their time to come and sit throughout a day to service you speaks volume about what kind of people they are, which we like to call them like angels walking on earth here, Because everybody has their own life and then doing their own thing, And to take time out of their day to come service somebody they don't even know, is amazing. But that's all through the workings of God, lining everything up. So,
it's amazing. It's amazing. The body of Christ.
Yeah. And I'm still to this day, I'm in a maze just to sit back and just watch and see how it all comes together, man. Be like, whoa. Only he knows, and only in his timing and only in his season. So, but when it does come together, you get to what is that, man? You're like, whoa. Now, I'm not a selfish guy anymore. It's not about me because I get to witness everybody have problems, And who am I to complain when I see what I see around me, Got people who strung out on drugs. Got people mental health issues, talking to themselves, not clothed, eating out the garbage can, So how can I dare complain, What am I going to do? What can I do to help the problem situation? How God is going to use me, and this is how he uses me. I cook a lot of meals here, a lot. From breakfast, lunch, dinner, we're kind of short-staffed now. But that don't bother me because I'm doing what I love to do, and it's for the cause of Jesus, This whole journey of mine always been spiritual from day one, And, yeah, I prepare a lot of meals, and I do a lot of ministering to the guys because me being a former client, now a staff member, I have a lot of guys in my kitchen right now who's just going through the program. So I'm always encouraging them, inspiring them, like, listen, you got to surrender, you got to trust, you got to be patient. It's not working on your time, it's working on his time. And he knows what he's doing. Trust me, I'm a living witness to that. So I believe with my testimony, it gets a lot of guys through the program, We have some slip-up guys leave and then they return, But overall, he's using me. And I just ask that I can be a reflection of his son to do what he asked of me to do. But I love it, man. Yeah, I just want to thank the Lord for restoration, you know. Just thank the Caring Place, the Miami Rescue Mission, the Brummers. I never heard of this place until I actually got here. And then to show you how it works into his timing, that a couple of blocks away from here, I was raised in this neighborhood and never heard about this place, you know. But it's funny how life works, how God works, you know. And I'm just grateful to be here, to be able to be one of the guys who can say that Jesus is real. And that's how I'm living my life now, you know. And I suggest everybody who's lost need to get to know Jesus.
Celebrate what Jesus is doing throughout the nation and rise up to answer his call on your life. To serve the poor, heal the broken, free the captives, and bring joy to those in need. Find hope, encouragement, and motivation through Overcomers TV. This inspiring network features everyday people and ministries across America who are putting God's love in action. Tune in to Overcomers TV on your favorite app or streaming platform. It's time to overcome.